above.
Or is it the main?
There's that upward trend.
Okay.
And then it breaks under there too, which there you can kind of see that wedge breaks above from that wedge and then breaks that upward trend and then continues to go down. So same type of deal with pennies, but like I said, they don't react as well as blue chips usually. Let's see. So as you know, right off the rip, unless it breaks above, this is a really good example actually. Unless you know we have that large candle, sell-off candle, usually there is a bear trap and it tends to break above. But if it does not break above here, you see it tries to. Let's do this. So we see that large sell-off candle here. We start to see that upward trend forming, and then it breaks. As soon as you see, you know, here, don't sell. As soon as you see it's trying to fight instead of breaking above. As soon as it breaks, then you know it's time to sell and maybe get puts. You see that, and as soon as we have that, that stock's going in a downward trend all day long. You know, unless news is released or something spectacular happens, like it breaks right here. But you can see it just kind of dies off the entire day. And then we have that large sell volume there at close. And there you see that jump up on green candle, breaks out of that wedge upwards, jumps up, breaks from that same support line and goes downward. You know, but every time I look at this, man, I just see so many lines that can be created, which after you do it enough, you know, you see these trends forming, all four of those red candles perfectly in motion there. That breaks above. Breaks under. Breaks above. So you kind of see what I'm doing there. You can recognize it, which in real time, you know, if we only saw from here, if you see that line, you can pretty much predict we're going to have that downward movement afterwards. So. All right, y'all, is there anything you want me to touch base on that I haven't? Is there any other questions?
So during live trading, you use 5-minute windows, right? Or 30
Correct.
minutes? Yeah, 5 minutes. Okay.
So these are all the ones that I have out here. Yeah, so 1 day, 5 minutes, my favorite on here. But if I'm looking for like on that Tesla, so let's look at Tesla and why I got into that spread. Which obviously the main reason is the inclusion of the 21st. But let's just look at the 20-day. So kind of back to that NNDM, how it had that constant upward trend here. You know, it breaks under, kind of reloads, reloads that RSI, reloads, and then we're kind of seeing that move. So you see, you know, it looks very similar to here, this move here. We're starting to see a repeat of that, and then we had that afterwards, right? So we'll see if history repeats itself and it starts to do that move again. But that's just kind of reloading our RSI. I mean, look here, it touched 30 down here. So that's a great sign of more upward movement. What you do, you know, there always is the possibility of it not. So what we could see here, something small like this, or even here, which wouldn't take, you know, a day or two of bearish movement, although we did see some green candles there. But if we have, you know, that TTM going under just a little bit and then reloading for some more, it'd be great if the VWAP would go down with it and pair up at the same time as well as the RSI and kind of reload some more for some more upside. But yeah, that would give us a lot of room for Tesla to grow. With the inclusion though, man, it can hit 700 very easily. It is Tesla after all.
Can you check out CVS?
CVS long term this week or what?
Next Friday. Got some calls on it.
What's the news? What are you playing? Is there a catalyst for it or no?
What do you mean? I have no idea what that means.
Is there a reason why you're trading it? Is there a catalyst? Is there a PR? Any news? Any reason why you plan on trading CVS?
Well, I got some calls on it. I know J Moto told me if it broke a certain resistance, it would go up, and it did. Okay. But I just don't know if it's going to keep going up or just come down.
So at that point, if it's going to keep going up, it has to.
Patient room 414. I'm looking at the administration history. It says that.
So pretty much what I want to know is there still room to run?
Yeah. So what we'll see here is it's pretty flat there. Let's look at the daily chart and what it closed at. So yeah, it's looking pretty bullish right now. The MACD is on red. RSI is kind of reloaded, and it looks like it's on that bullish move upwards right there. If you can see that, which very well has room all the way up here. Which, as you can see here, this is very long on the upside. So it doesn't necessarily have to go on the downside. If it continues up here, we could see that spike. Then we could see it continue up higher, kind of like this move back here. So which I'm assuming he probably said this resistance that it's been tapped a couple of times. Let's look at the couple day chart, 5 day, 15 minutes. All right, so we see this break. It actually goes to the pressure point here and breaks above. So I really don't, it's the support and resistance. Yeah, they matter, but right now in this market, the fib lines just have proven not to matter as much. So we see here it breaks out above. That's an instant bullish move. As soon as it breaks up green, it continues upward on the support line. Boom, it hits VWAP and then continues even more, which a safer buy would be right here as soon as it breaks VWAP. But here you can start to see, which even these indicators here, it's not even showing that much of a bullish move until it breaks that VWAP. So as long as we have it up here and pretty much just watch it above VWAP, if it breaks under that VWAP, yeah, for the day it will probably be a little bit bearish, but it could also fake out and go back above. So yeah, as of right now, it looks like a really strong close. Even with that sell-off candle, it still continued to make new highs for that day. So as of right now, I am bullish on that. So does that help? Does that kind of show you how much of a bullish that move is once it broke out of there? And you can see all those candles and you can see why it happened. Not so much that it happened, but why it happened, and you can kind of understand it more.
Yeah, I see that.
Could you check out the stock APN, APPN? It dropped massively, and I'm pretty sure it was an overreaction play. I want to know if it has more room to run up.
Here? Is this the drop you're talking about, or is it further out? This day from 195. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So is it this day that you're talking about, this drop?
I think so.
Yes. 5 days ago, so Monday.
Oh yeah.
From Monday.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so here, when you see that bottom fall out,
Yes.
here's when a lot of people started to buy in here. You see it sells off massively, and then people think, hey, this is the bottom, which is a good example of getting caught in a bear trap or a bull trap, sorry. Continues to go up. People are thinking it's about to break VWAP. It doesn't, continues downward, even for a whole nother day. Hits the new low, breaks above the VWAP and is green. And then we've kind of seen, it kind of settles down. And then for the past 2 days after that, it continues above VWAP. So as of right now, it can reverse here. Let's look at the 1 day, 5 minute. So right now we're pretty low on the 30 on the RSI, TTM squeeze on the downside, but moving upwards. The MACD though, we see it going upwards, and then we also have a respike of a dark red candle. So it could do one of two things. When they all pair up, it's a beautiful thing. You can see where it's going to go. But when you have that MACD kind of bringing these other indicators down, you never know until you know, right? So here, it is bearish. As long as it's underneath that VWAP, man, it's not looking good. But as soon as it breaks above the VWAP, that's a good sign. Which, as you can see, as soon as it broke above the VWAP on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, it went up constantly for 2 days. So that's a good sign. If it goes up, it could run for a day or two after that.
Okay, for sure.
Let's see. So, yeah, so it double topped here, and then that shows you a good bearish move down here.
Okay.
All right. So what was your original question? Were you bearish or bullish on it? Were you trying to get calls on it or what?
Yeah, I wanted to buy some calls on it because I thought it was an overreaction play, and I'm thinking that it's gonna shoot up like 10%, maybe 15%. But
What was the PR that released on it?
The what?
What made it drop so badly? Which here, as y'all can see, I have the live news here, so I can just type it in and it'll pull up PR. Downgrades. So that's probably why it was downgraded.
All right. Yeah. It's done. So I have it right here.
Is that it?
Is it the TradingView app you're using, or like which
No,
platform is it?
Thinkorswim.
Thinkorswim. All right.
You see how useful it is? I could type in the ticker, pulls up all the PR. So I think that's why they got downgraded, which all it takes is that analyst to take it back or re-upgrade it for it to go up. Hold on, let's see what it was downgraded to.
This is through
It just
TD
equal weight to
Ameritrade.
underweight. What was that?
The platform you're using to display all of this is through TD Ameritrade.
Yes, it's through TD Ameritrade. It's their Thinkorswim application.
Is it free, like with their account?
Yep, it's free. All you got to do is open up an account. You don't have to deposit anything, and then you can just download it. But I highly recommend it, which I say it every time on Q&A, to get Thinkorswim. It's the best charting platform I've ever found.
Thank you.
So.
Yeah, thank you for your help.
Yeah, of course, man.
Thank you for your help.
That's what I'm here for.
Could we look at AMD? Or not
AMD?
Not AMD, sorry. Activision.
What was that?
Activision.
I'm kind of surprised.
Apple?
Activision Blizzard.
Hold on, guys. We have a little bit of background noise. If y'all don't mind muting yourself. Or
It's
there we
Activision
go.
Blizzard.
You want to look at Activision?
Yeah.
Will you mute Imran?
Yeah.
Is that who it is? Yeah. All right, there we go.
I was looking at it, and also through another Discord, someone had said that there was a possible cup and handle on the monthly and even the quarterly.
Did they say it was already formed? There's a cup and handle reversed here. Maybe it's further out, you think?
They said monthly, and then possibly quarterly as well. And then for buy that they thought you should buy calls right now on it.
Yeah, so we do kind of see, you know, it's pretty ugly, double bottom here, but let's see. So you see that cup and then handle there. So yeah, most definitely. Which did QC Lee put out a call for that? ATVI? Did he put that call out?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure he did. My shit's frozen, so it's because I'm annotating.
Okay.
Yep, he did. Already up 20%. I wish I had gotten in on that. I didn't even look at the cup and handle.
Do you still think it has room to run?
Oh yeah, if this is the handle, you know, the handle could very well go all the way up to here. As soon as it breaks that handle and goes downward, then we know it's over. But yeah, do you see that blue line? That's a good indication of where it might head.
Okay.
Back up to its highs of, you know, 87, 88. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah. Was it?
Hey, good night.
All right, let's see here. Is there anyone else that wants me to look at something for him?
Hey, just a quick question. I mean, how do you analyze ticker symbol if there's some news and if it shoots up rapidly and there's like a huge volume or if it sells out, like how do you analyze something like that? Like something happened like this week, last week something happened for us, WKHS. So how would you analyze that?
That's what he said.
Okay, let's see. There's someone being a little loud. I think it's fixed now. All right, so let's look at Tesla. I think this is when it shot up. We're too far out. Let's see. No, we want broken down more. We want a 10-day, 30 minutes.
So just adding to that question, because sometimes I'm just learning all this stuff, RSI and MACD, because if sometimes such things happen like a huge volume or something, the RSI says it's like an overbought, yeah.
Oversold indicator.
Oversold, yes, above 70 oversold, but the stock still continues to rise above.
Yeah, so that's just an indicator. It's all relative. So do you see here how it's kind of showing, you know, 30-70, and then if I go to max one day, it's way above, because compared to what it used to be, it's pretty overbought. You know, that's just compared to what it used to be. The only way there isn't enough room is if their shares are completely gone, you know, if they're all owned. So there is always more room. But a lot of times what happens is people see that it's at the top that it should be, and then people decide to sell, you know, so then that causes it reloading and going back down. But that's all it is just, you know, people use it as an indicator. Oftentimes millions of people sell at that point, so then the RSI goes down, but it's all relative to the time frame. Does that make sense to you?
Yep.
So if we look at like the 5-day 15-minute, you know, compared to that huge volume we had when it spiked overnight, it's not that oversold. You know, maybe in the 50s. Sorry, and more like in the 60s here.
Nice spotlight. Let me get my sword.
Which even here, you know, this is what 560, which we used to, you know, Tesla breaking 500 was a lot, you know, a month ago. But here the RSI is way under, you know, it's almost touching 0 or 20 at that point. And it's still in the 550 range. So
can you have a quick look at Workhorse also, WKHS? It has like it lost lots of like.
yeah, and so that's a good showing too. So when that RSI shows 20, that shows that it has a new good support there. So that's also a good indicator. But yeah, we can look at Workhorse. You want to look long term, short term?
Yeah, I mean, long term, it was almost hovering at 28, but then last week GM announced some news with Nikola, and it dropped down. It had a negative effect on Workhorse also, so it dropped down to like 20s, 19, and it started rising up again.
All right, so we see here, you know, this is where it fell off, obviously. Starts to build up, which, you know, if we just looked at the TTM, yeah, it looks like it would be going into the upside soon. But here we're still underneath on the MACD, and we start to see that downward movement on the MACD, which we could get some more red volume. Here it's kind of flat, which if we look back here, it looks like it's going back down, you know. So it could just be a fake out, a good selling point. If it's up a little higher here, could sell off more. You know, it all depends. But let's draw up a support line. Let's do this. So that's a good support line. If it keeps bouncing off of that, that's the upward trend. That would be your breakout right there. So this is going to be a deciding factor. Whether it decides to go up or down, it's going to happen at that point. Does that make sense to you?
Yep. Thank you.
Unless there's a couple. So yeah, that's in line with that same line. That's a really good indicator. You know, this is looking like the big breaking point right here. All right, y'all, we've got about like 8 minutes. Is there any more questions that I can touch on? I hope everyone in here has learned a lot from this tonight. I'm glad I was able to do this for y'all.
I just got a quick question.
Yeah, man.
What are you looking for on that the 10K watch list?
So the 10K watch list is all orders over $10,000. They kind of spread. So like if I look on my phone and the indicators come up on my phone and I see 10 different $10,000 Apple call orders, you know, it's a good indicator of Apple being bullish, which I've actually made it, you know, 1 or 2 call outs due to that, and they worked out. So it's a pretty good indicator. But pretty much like this is also a good thing if you trade through Thinkorswim. So what you do is, you know, if that one goes through, so like this one was just entered, it's at 0%, you can click on it and then buy, and then you can literally just buy that same one that it's on.
So they're in order by
Pretty cool.
they're replaced?
Yeah, yep.
Oh, okay.
I love cheesecake.
Which obviously, you know, they're not all winners, they're not all correct, but a lot of them are hedges. So I'll have an order come through and it'll say 3 calls, 2 puts. So then they'll just buy 2 puts to hedge. Or if you know, if you look and you just have a bunch like ZNGA had a huge reading come through, that's a good indicator that it would be a good play. Which I'm going to follow this more. I don't look at it really often.
I bought one on Friday.
You did?
Yeah.
CNGA?
Yeah.
Yeah, that 440%. That's really good. But yeah, I'll look at that a little bit more and see if we can make a good play for that. I know someone on our 1K challenge is up at like $4,000. Is there anyone doing really good on our 1K challenge?
Mm-hmm. So
See.
they're very smart. They really
I'm not doing so hard. I made so hot. I made a couple of mistakes. put it in order, it ended up not going through, and then I lost the entire position because it expired worthless. A bunch of stupid mistakes, but I know at least some of y'all are making some good gains from it. Let's see. All right, y'all, is there any final questions we have? Like I said, this will be recorded, so if you ever want to look back at it or you want help while you're charting, you can just look back at it and kind of use it to help you out. So let me just support line here, broke under.
Do you think it's too early to get a speculative call put or call option for SPY on the 21st?
No, I don't think it's too high at all. That's why I have a Tesla one, you know. I don't think it's, you know, I would honestly, just because of the highs it's at, which long term I am bearish. There's no way SPY should be hitting these highs with how uncertain our economy is right now and everything. But what we need to do is wait for it to pull back a little bit.
Going down or left or right?
So here's that breakout. So we'll see that happen soon. But yeah, I would just wait until it pulls back a little bit, you know, maybe in this area down here somewhere, and then go into a long position for the end of the month.
All right.
All right. All right, y'all. Final call.
I'll go through how that works.
All right. Well, I'm glad. Well, I hope, in better terms, that y'all learned a lot from this charting, and we'll touch on it some more. And I enjoy doing it, so we'll definitely do some more of it in the future. Y'all, please, if you wouldn't mind, either DM me or put it in premium chat. Let me know what you thought. If it helped you, a couple of things that I have mentioned or gone over that's really helped you with charting. You know, whether it's my setup or, you know, explaining a long-term, short-term or short-term charting or what have you. But please feel free to go ahead and let me know what you thought of it. And if I should continue to do it in the future, that sort of thing, or if we want to get into, you know, like a one-on-one kind of class sort of thing. So again, thank you all for showing up tonight. You know, I wouldn't be here doing this if it wasn't for y'all being a part of our group. So I appreciate that, and I hope I answered a lot of y'all's questions and helped you out. Well, y'all have a good night, and get ready to be here bright and early for tomorrow's trading session.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right. Yeah, of course, Root. Take care, man.
You too, man. Romero, just a suggestion for the next time. Like, if for the next time, if we do the same thing, probably you can just explain one of your good play, like a play that went really well, and why you selected it, and what was your thinking behind it.
Root, go. So I'm showing you right now on the table. So like for that example, go to premium charts from user. Romero, and then have you ever done that before?
Oh yeah, I saw some of your charts over there, but then at that point I didn't know like what I'm looking at. I'm learning these things slowly, so. Premium chart.
End channel. And premium charts. There we go.
Yeah.
So then we can go back and scroll down to some of my past plays. I have a lot of posts on here.
You can see Tesla and SPY.
Let's do the oldest. So that's when I made the group. A lot of my advice there.
Sorry. That's fine.
Which I will continue to do that. If I have a real good charting play, I will post why I did it. So Apple, when we played Apple right before the split, I had calls right to open. It shot up, but that showed the breakout broke above right before it happens. NVDA wedge hit here, broke under. We got out of our call.
Romero, we are still looking at your TD America screen.
Oh, so you're not on?
No.
Okay. Well, let me see how to get that back here. Hold on. Someone told me they saw that. Let's see. Okay. Can y'all see it now?
Yep.
All right. So pretty much I just went up here in the corner, said from Romero Dinero and premium charts, and then just kind of went to oldest to show you. But here, Apple, that's when we had that huge play, breakout there, broke above, NVDA, went into this wedge, went up some, took our profits, broke down, and then sold out. So let's see. So right here, we can see that huge sell-off from Apple. It broke down. So as soon as we see that downward move, it broke under, boom, it showed we had those puts, banked on puts. Here we're seeing that huge downtrend. As soon as it breaks above there, went into a call. And then here you can see I said the power of charting. As soon as it broke above, boom, we have that new uptrend. Now it's on that upward trend. And then it broke under here again. And then we had it reversing. That was the resistance line. So yeah, just go back through here. Does that help you out? I have a bunch of examples back here of past plays.
Yep.
Overextended, boom, then it reversed downwards. But yeah, just go ahead and use that. Yeah, I guess that'll conclude for tonight. Like I said, y'all, that we have a lot of tools and resources and stuff for you to use in here. But if you have any more questions, ask another admin or I, and we'd be happy to help you out. All right, y'all. Like I said, have a great night. Get a good night's rest, and we'll be back here bright and early to do some good trading. I'll be at my house in my office, and I'll sit down. We'll have some good charting plays, hopefully, if the market abides by it. But y'all have a great night, and I'll see you here tomorrow.
All right. Good night, man.
You too, man. Bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good night.